Urgent Dog Pound fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Dog Pound news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Analyst says one QB prospect can be a leader. For Browns, after signing Cleveland defensive end Myles Garrett to a historic contract, Browns owner Jimmy Haslam revealed earlier this week that he has challenged the star defender to become a leader for the franchise. Haslam appears to believe that leadership is one of the biggest deficiencies for the Browns, especially in 2025 as the team attempts to rebound from a 3-14 record. Could that same quality be something the Browns want out of their next quarterback? According to Jonathan Peterlin, the ability to lead is something he's seeing out of one rumored quarterback target for Cleveland. Peterlin suggested that Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders could fill that leadership role for the Browns immediately if the organization selects him in the 2025 NFL Draft. I do think one of the things that gets underrepresented in these Shedeur Sanders conversations is there is that expectation that he comes in and then from day one he is your leader, Peterlin said. What he showed in both places he was at in college is that he is very good at that part of the game. Peterlin pointed to his role with the Colorado Buffaloes this season, leading the Big 12 school to a 94 mark and a spot in the AP Top 25 poll for much of the year. Before Sanders arrived in Colorado, the Buffaloes were 111, and he helped orchestrate a significant turnaround for the program in just 2 seasons. It was the second program Sanders has led to a turnaround after doing the same for Jackson State during his freshman and sophomore seasons. Cleveland will be looking for the same thing this year, and the quarterback position remains the biggest void for the Browns to address before the upcoming campaign. Pausing this news, just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Dog Pound news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks, now let's get back to the news. Browns' rumored trade for Dak Prescott from Cowboys gains more details in new report after rumors of a Dak Prescott trade to the Browns emerged last month. They were quickly disputed by many in the NFL. But a Cleveland radio host has doubled down on the huge deal. Bruce Drennan defended himself and shared more details about the trade proposal on his latest show. I stand by the statement that I laid out on you last week. This could come about, Drennan said. Dallas and Cleveland would make a deal. Cleveland would get Dak Prescott. Dallas would get Greg Newsome and the 33rd pick. That's the first pick in the second round. Now, if there's anything else involved in the deal, I don't know about that. I was not told that. I was not informed about anything else. There could be, for all I know. It's not the second overall pick in the draft. The Browns would keep that. Drennan had previously said that a pretty darn good source within the Browns organization had told him about the deal. NFL Network and Pro Football Talk both disputed the report, and even if it was to happen, the salary cap implications of Prescott's contract combining with Deshaun Watson's owed money in Cleveland would likely make it impossible to get over the finish line. But hey, if it happened somehow, Drennan would look brilliant. Insider proposes blockbuster Browns Raiders draft day trade. The Cleveland Browns are in an interesting spot in the 2025 NFL Draft, holding the number 2 overall pick as well as multiple picks afterward to fill in some of the many gaps on the roster. So far this offseason, all the Browns have to show for it at quarterback is the addition of Kenny Pickett, which is why one insider recently proposed a blockbuster trade between Cleveland and the Las Vegas Raiders. Tony Grossi recently floated an idea that has the Browns sending the number 2 pick to the Raiders for the number 6 overall selection, as well as their second-round pick at number 37 and a 2026 second-round pick. In this scenario, Grossi proposes that the Raiders want two-way star Travis Hunter with the number 2 pick, and the Browns would then be able to select quarterback Shedeur Sanders at number 6. But if the Raiders would, I think Shedeur Sanders and 2 number 2s would be greater value than Hunter alone. Again, the Browns like Sanders, just not enough to take him at number 2, but they would like him a lot more along with the Raiders' second-round pick this year, number 37 overall, plus another second-rounder in 2026. So imagine this scenario. The Browns use number 6 on Sanders to compete with Kenny Pickett for their starting QB job. With number 33 and number 37, they can fill pressing needs at running back and offensive tackle. Then they still have 2 third-rounders, number 67 and number 94, to address other positions, Grossi said, via the land on demand. Grossi pointed out how the Browns like Sanders, which appears to be the case, but not enough for them to pass on edge rusher Abdul Carter to take the QB at number 2, and this would allow them to get Sanders at number 6 while also adding depth later on. The problem with this deal is that nobody usually trades up this high in the draft if they aren't taking a quarterback. If anybody is trading up to number 2, that team is likely only going to do it to take Sanders, and if the Browns trade down, they need to get more than a pair of second-round picks in return to justify passing on Carter, who is the consensus best player in the draft. Browns set to meet with dynamic Ohio State RB prospect. There has been plenty of talk about the Cleveland Browns possibly taking Sheeter Sanders with the number 2 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. After all, they badly need a quarterback with Deshaun Watson injured and Kenny Pickett currently slated to be their starter, but they also need an upgrade at running back. The Browns may be considering targeting the position later in the draft, as they're reportedly among the teams set to meet with. Quinshon Judkins. Ohio State RB Quinshon Judkins has several upcoming visits, including the Houston Texans, Denver Broncos, Cincinnati Bengals, New York Giants, and Browns, while recently completing one with the Dallas Cowboys, per sources Fox Sports insider Jordan Schultz wrote on X. Judkins had 1,060 rushing yards and 14 rushing touchdowns last season and helped Ohio State win the College Football Playoff National Championship. He finished his NCAA career with 3,185 rushing yards and 45 rushing touchdowns in 3 seasons, including 2 at Ole Miss. He has decent size at 6 foot and 218 pounds, and he ran the 40-yard dash in 48 seconds at the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine. Judkins is thought to play with the type of physicality to be a quality NFL running back, and he especially excels on runs to the side of the field outside the hash marks. Last season, Cleveland was last in points scored, and a big culprit was their running game, which finished 29th in yards and tied for 30th in touchdowns. Chubb mustered 332 rushing yards and 3 yards per attempt in 8 games following his return, and its leading rusher was Jerome Ford, who had 565 yards on the ground. And now, Dog Pound fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Dog Pound. I'll be back any moment with more Dog Pound news. Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof.